Would you be okay if you were at the strip club with your partner and you saw them get a dance?
Okay. Just hear me out.
What? How dare you? I'm like trying to not have drama in my life.
So you had a little spice. Just kidding.
Me and my mom didn't talk for like a very long time. And I remember I wrote her this text and I was like, you lied to me.
Welcome to Real Show, where we talk about shit that you don't want to hear but need to hear. This is my co-host, my boyfriend.
What? How dare you?
This is my boyfriend.
Bruh, just do that over.
What?
I'm not your boyfriend. What the fuck you mean? This is a prank?
No.
Oh, you're pranking them? Okay.
It's so bad.
What you mean? We've been married for way too long. Go. Do it again. Put in time.
I broke character right away. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, would you trust your partner to go through your phone or have your phone for the whole day, whole week, all of that?
I know plenty of dudes. It's off limits. Don't touch my phone.
Yeah.
What do you feel like?
I feel like
we're weird with it.
We're very weird. We're very weird with our phones. Like, our phones might as just be like one motherfucking phone.
I feel like you've gone like a day with my phone.
I know. And
like, oh, my phone's dead. Can I just...
He would like go to the bathroom. His phone is dead. He's like, hey, can I borrow your phone? And I was like, here. And like, we would text like from each other's phone, texting other people using each other's phone.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I definitely was not like that in my other relationships.
No, same. I was
like, don't touch my phone.
Yeah, it's like, don't look at, like, not even like messages from other people, but like, don't look at me and my best friend's messages, because you're gonna find something in there that you don't want to.
I think that's the basis of all of it. It's like, if you go in there looking for something,
you're gonna find
it, right? And it's like, I feel like before you're at a stage where like relationships are like super serious, there's probably gonna be some shit in there.
And listen, you are gonna get your feelings hurt if you go in there trying to look for shit. You're gonna get your feelings hurt, and don't do that to yourself.
I feel like women be looking like to get their feelings hurt though. It's like, let's say you went in there to find it and you found it. Like, what do you just confirm it so now you can end the relationship? Like, what is
it just fuck you up. That was me when I would ask you about, like, listen, like, it's fucked up because I would ask him about his previous relationship, and I know my damn self, I like always just like, I'm like listening to the conversation. I'm like, yeah. And then deep inside, I'm like,
yeah. And then after I leave, you're like, I can't believe he fucking blah, 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 blah.
Like, just getting mad about the past.
Yeah, well, you asked for it. But I remember specifically, like, in college, my girlfriend in college, it was hilarious. Like, okay, so I was sleeping, right? And I woke up and nobody's in the room, but my phone is unlocked. Like, you know when your phone's unlocked, you can see the screen on? Mm-hmm. My screen was on. So I was like, well, why is my screen on? Did I get a notification? No notification. But it was signed in. I didn't really have Instagram at the time, but I had Facebook. It was signed into my Facebook. And it was like, it's clearly somebody had been going through it.
Yeah.
So then she like just rolled over like she just woke up.
Trying to play it.
Matter of fact, no, I wasn't asleep. I went to brush my teeth and I came back. And when I came back, my phone was on. Yeah. And she was like in the bed, like pretending to sleep. But I could see my phone on. Yeah, my phone's on. And I was like, yo, why is my phone on? She was like, oh. And then 20 minutes goes by, 30 minutes goes by. And now she has questions like, oh, so who's so-and-so? It's like, you're not slick, bro. I know you went through my phone and now you're asking about this person. And it was just some like random person that hit me up. But that's the type of shit that y'all be doing. Trying to pull like I'm a snoop. I didn't find nothing, so let me just...
Listen, it's because we have trust issues.
Y'all think you're
trust issues.
You guys think you're like in the FBI or something.
Hey, woman. Hey, we might as well be, because the shit we might be finding out. We have a friend, and she is the queen.
Man, she knows like the parents' history. She knows like, well, he had a girlfriend at this time and she went there and they went on this trip together.
Oh, and she uses this website to go look at the background check. I'm like, God damn, girl. Like, I didn't even know this shit was possible.
And they haven't even talked yet. It's like maybe they texted one time and she has all this information. It's like, why would you want all that information before the person just...
Wait, pause. When we first started, when you first started talking to me,
You did that to me?
I didn't do a background check. I didn't even know that was possible. First of all, I'm not that crazy. I'm a little bit crazy. But I went through I went through your Facebook.
Oh, I can't. Why is the first time hearing this?
No, I went through your Facebook and I like scrolled all the photos. And that's when I saw, I'm like, all right, like he ain't like that bad. Like he's like has pictures with a grandma. I'm like, he looks like he's very family oriented. I'm like trying to look.
So you went in there and you made up a whole story about me before you met me?
It was a good story. I'm like, he looks like he's family oriented.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, is that what the process?
And then I'm like, who's this bitch?
Is that the process for y'all?
I just want to know what I'm getting myself into. Like, I want to know what I'm getting myself into.
But without context, like, how do you know who is?
I don't know. I just be not imagining stuff, but I just like.
So when you come into a date, then
it's kind of like your portfolio. I'm like, ooh, he plays football. He's like in sports. He looks like. That's when I saw. I'm like, damn, he looks hot. Like he looks. Hey, you were my first victim to my whole phase.
Right.
That didn't happen. Okay.
Right. But so if you saw all those things and you thought I was a good dude, why would you?
Why would I what?
You were just planning on just like being a one night stand?
Yeah, because you didn't live here. You didn't live in
So that was the only
Winnipeg
thing.
I'm like, damn, he is perfect.
So no care at all about my feelings.
No, because I'm like, he's a football player. He probably don't give a shit. He doesn't live in my city, so if I do, like, kick it with him and do.
So you go through all of that process before a first date?
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm not trying to date go on a date with a serial killer.
But does that like so
I'm just trying to like.
But help me out. So you made this whole story about me. Mm-hmm. Then we went on the first date. Did you have questions that were based on the information that you found, or was it just like a natural conversation?
Yeah, I'd be trying to pretend like I don't already know his mama, like I don't already know that he has a grandma.
So I was telling you
that I already don't know that he has a brother and a sister.
Wow. So you were pretending the whole beginning.
What do you mean pretending?
Well, when I told you that stuff, it was just like, but you were like...
Not that I'm like for sure that I know, I was just trying to...
You probably knew their names, who's older, who's younger. Wow. Y'all are crazy. I don't think dudes be doing that.
You didn't do that with me? Oh, there was nothing to find. You just look at my Instagram.
Yeah, when I looked, it was just like, oh, there's 2 kids there. I wonder if she has kids. And the rest was like, you were eating food, you were at a music festival.
Yeah, just living life.
Yeah, I didn't care anything about that. I figured it almost felt to me like if I found out all that information, the conversation would be dead because I don't do good at like pretending like I don't know that info. I'm just be like, hey, I saw, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There was a topic that we went through recently in August, and it's because like my best friend during like her wedding festivities, she wanted to have like all the bridesmaids and the groomsmen to go to a strip club and like buy the men dances. And at first, like, okay, this is a question. Like, do you think it's okay? Do you think it's okay for...
There's 2 questions,
okay.
Right? Do you think it's okay for your partner to go to the strip club without you? And this one was specifically for you. Would you be okay if you were at the strip club with your partner and you saw them get a dance?
Okay. Just hear me out.
First of all, I hate strip clubs. Let me just put that right there for you.
I know. Well, for me, I love strip clubs.
I stand strip clubs.
I would go to the strip club just with the girls, and I love seeing the girls dance. Like,
such a different experience for us and for you guys.
Yeah, I love it. I love seeing the girls, the sexy girls dance, do their thing. It's like entertainment. Like I'm watching like a show, them doing tricks, and I'm like, wow. I want to do that. I want to learn how to do that. I want to do like splits and.
Yeah, but see that's like in the front.
Yeah.
That's like what's happening in the club.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, there's dances, and that ain't that. It ain't the same thing.
Yeah. But anyways,
the performance is gone.
So I was okay with it in the very beginning when it was still just planning out, I was like, yeah, we should all go to the strip club together, and then Khalil's gonna go get a dance.
Wait, whoa, we didn't even answer the first question.
What?
Would you be okay if I went with just the fellas?
Yeah.
You would be okay if I went with just the fellas?
Yeah. Just don't, like, I just don't want to hear about it. Like, you can go, but I just, like, don't want to hear about it. I just don't want to imagine it. I
feel like you would be imagining it, though.
I know, but then the thing is, I don't want to be that person that, like...
Saying you can't.
Yeah, like, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Just put some respect on my name. That's all I care about.
Interesting.
That's all I care about. Like, you can literally...
You don't have to worry about it. I'm not going. I hate...
It's like, just don't disrespect me. Like, it's just the respect that I, like, you know...
I just hate, like, I feel like everything that you appreciate about the strip club is what I hate about the strip club. Because it's a performance. Mm-hmm. And for you, it's about the dancing. But for me, it's the performance that's going on off of the stage, where they come up to you and they do all this like fake flirting with you, and then they do all this pretending like you're actually talking, and then it leads to this point where they ask for a dance. It's like sales. They ask for a dance, you say no, pick up, they're out of there.
I know.
But it's just like this constant thing, right? And it's like girl after girl after girl will come up to you and do this whole song and dance. But if you know that this is what it is, because some of my friends don't know that. They just be buying into it like, oh yeah, I think she likes me. It's like,
oh my God, I think
she doesn't. She does not. She wants the money and then she's out. Like a friend of mine got like, he was like 8 songs deep at the club. We got kicked out in Vegas because of it. Because she was flirting with him. She got him to get a dance. They did the dance, but he didn't say stop. So she just kept going for 8 songs, and then she gave him the bill. And it was like $700, $800. And he was like, whoa, I wasn't asking for all of this. I thought you just, but it's like, no, bro, she's doing her job. Like, that's what they do here. But to me, that's why I don't like it. Like, what am I doing here if that's not what I'm not about to be blowing all this money getting dances and shit?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like entertainment. It's like a show. Yeah. You're paying for a show. If you don't want to pay for a show, like, that's on you. Like, it's just...
So when we went to the one in Atlanta, because Atlanta's strip clubs is wild, by the way. Way different than here. Way different than here. But when we went there, you were like, yeah, I'm with it, blah, 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 blah. And then
it was, I'm just trying to imagine, like, what happened.
You weren't.
Yeah, okay, so, no, the thing is, closer to the date, it's not even like, we went to the strip club together. So, before, like, closer to the date, going to the strip club, I was like, I don't know how I feel about like Khalil getting a dance. Like, I started like, I don't know, like a lot of women that I know, they don't care about their man getting into dance. My best friend don't give a shit. My sister-in-law, they want to see like, you know, their man getting a dance. But then I started to feel like, damn, like, why am I feeling a type of way all of a sudden? And then I was glad I wasn't the only one, because all the other bridesmaids, except for my sister-in-law and my best friend, they was feeling the same way as me, that they're like, it doesn't feel right for my man to get a dance. Especially when I'm there. And that's what I was feeling.
But was that was for a private dance, or was that for the dances that you saw?
For the dance.
It was for the private dance. Like getting taken back to a back room. Yeah, getting taken back in the back room, and then their titties just rubbing on your face. Right. And like, I don't know. I just didn't know how I felt about that. Like, it made me feel a type of way. And eventually, through the night, they broke you.
Yeah, they broke me, and then...
they brought some stripper over to me, and it was the most awkward thing, because for me, it was like, hell no.
Yeah, they didn't pick...
I was not with it.
Yeah, they didn't pick a good one. I think it was dark, and then when...
She came over, and I sent her ass right back. It's like, nope, nah, not doing it.
Yeah, no, I was like, I'm sorry. But yeah, but I got a dance. She was like soft and beautiful.
Yeah, to me, it's an awkward situation, because it's like, where's the enjoyment for me? Is it just like watching me like with body parts in my face and not being able to do anything? Is that the enjoyment?
I don't know.
Because I don't know. It just feels weird to me.
Yeah, but then there were these girls, while they were dancing on like other men, they'd be just like groping the man, and I'm just like,
yeah, they were kind of doing it like low key a little bit too.
Like they be twerking and they be like touching, and I'm like,
because they're trying to get taken to that back room. I'm telling you.
I be like, am I jealous? Am I the problem here? But yeah, like that was just the situation that happened. So what do you ladies think? Like, is it like were you feeling the same way as me, or you're with the shits? Like, were you like okay, with your man getting a dance? I just want to know your thoughts.
I'll tell you what I'm not cool with. I'm not y'all going to the male strip club. I ain't about to sit there and have y'all get dances that way.
No, first of all, I only like the women's strip club. I have no desire to
I'm just saying the roles reversed. Like, it's not.
Yeah, no.
That's not cool for me.
The women's strip club. I'm just like.
I feel like male strip clubs are just grimy. It's just like, what? Like, for me, it feels like way more sexual.
That's for you, but it's like.
There ain't no performing going on over there.
Yeah, they'd be like doing the one where
that's fucking.
They would dive into the floor and they'd be doing the.
What's that?
Just imagine me on the floor and they're like,
what is that?
What do you mean? Just imagine me.
I'm imagining. I'm trying to figure it out.
On the floor and they're like, okay. Well, I'm just showing you. With that being said, same topic that I want to talk about next is, would you bring your girl to a boys' night? Like, is it okay to bring your girl to like...
It's not okay.
Why? Why do you want to bring
I just feel like in that situation, because I have one of my friends in particular, like, it doesn't matter who's going, he's bringing his girl. And it's not his choice. She just says, if you're going out, I'm coming. But for me, it's always awkward because if it's all guys together, we're going to be talking about guy stuff. Like, stuff that she wouldn't be interested in, she's not going to add to the conversation. Nobody's going to be talking or conversating with her. So it makes this weird, awkward situation where there's a person that's technically in the conversation but is not contributing to the conversation.
Yeah.
And then it's just, I don't know, it's weird. And then there's fights and arguments and those kind of things because he's talking how he would normally talk with his boys. And then now she's there. So now it makes this weird pressure where he can't be himself because I feel like it's weird.
Yeah, no, I feel that. But ladies, do you want to be coming to boys' night? I want to know your thoughts. Like, do you want to be involved in that?
This just happened to you, right?
Yeah, so I was not aware of this, by the way. So we went to go to this place, and I thought it was going to be the girls and the guys all together, and I didn't know it was a baby shower, but the baby shower was split. Like, I went with him, and then we went to, I practically went to like a men's side of the baby shower, and I was the only girl, and I was like,
she wasn't having it.
Literally, there was, I'm telling you, 20 guys in there, and I was the only girl, and I was like, I'm gonna Uber home. This is very I feel very out of place. I don't want to be here. It doesn't feel right. Like, I felt awkward. Like, I love y'all. You're cool and all, but this is not my place. So I took my ass home. I was like, enjoy.
She got in the Uber immediately.
I literally got there, saw who was all there, and I left because I'm like, I'm not trying to be the only girl in here.
Right.
And it's just like, I can't relate. I love your friends. I love your friends. They are a good time. They are fun. But I felt so out of place because you and your friends have been friends for like 20
years. Yeah, there's inside jokes that you don't know. And then now there's these questions like, hey, what does that mean? It's like,
I'm not just about to stand there and like,
yeah, you got a fake laugh the whole time.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about. But
I know if it was me, I would never, if you were just you and the girls, like, I would never want to be there. Like, please don't invite me. I don't want to go. And if I find out that I am, I'm gone. I'm not sticking around for that. Because the same thing, you guys be talking about like all your bullshit. And I'm like, I got nothing to add to this. It's kind of like when you take me to like not to say that I don't want to go to your family events, but when no one there speaks English, I'm just like, I'm like a piece of furniture in there.
Oh my God, I took him to I think it was my cousin's birthday at that time.
Yeah, I was like, man, I was so...
He was the only non-Filipino.
And no one cared. No one cared that I was the only non-Filipino. Everyone was speaking Tagalog. And I was like... And they were talking it to me like I understand. And I was just like, yeah. So let's just go sit on the couch and...
I know. I was like...
Did I go to bed early or something? I was really done with that day.
No, we was just like, we stayed up and we were just talking. I was trying to like, what is that? What is it?
I went to bed early. I definitely went to bed early.
What do you mean? We was at my Tito James' house.
No.
That was Isabel's birthday party.
I thought they had it at your house.
No. It was at Tito James' house.
I could swear I went to bed
No, but
early.
there was like times. There was
one time in particular I went to bed early. I know I did. I remember what happened.
What?
I was faded and I wasn't prepared. And I walked in and I was just like, I can't do this. I
gotta go. I remember that. That was at our house.
I think it was like an edible. And I was like, whoa, this is way too much.
I have to go in the room.
I don't feel good.
I remember that. Okay, ladies. So Love is Blind, okay? That show has got me on a chokehold. It is so good. So I have been trying to put my husband on.
Trying her hardest.
I'm like, look, I'll be showing him like the clips, the juiciest clips from Love is Blind. And then I sent him the specific clip of, when AD got rejected by Clay, and then his mama and his daddy was talking. I showed him that clip and they talked about divorce. And I shared it with you. But I've been trying to put him on. Like, ladies, listen, you gotta tell him it's good. I know you guys got your man hooked on Love is Blind.
A couple of my homies are.
Yeah, it's good.
Here's a clip.
Part of what he's struggling with, he struggles with marriage.
With commitment?
We gonna watch something?
With marriage.
Okay.
Is it sacred?
Mm.
Do you honor? He struggles with that. And all of those emotions.
We don't have to watch the full thing.
And twisted on feelings, he took that to the altar. And a lot of that stems from things that you have to explain and then apologize.
Clay's mama went off respectfully.
So, I have not watched the show. I have no interest in watching the show. I just don't like...
Why?
I'll watch it with you if you really want to watch it. I just don't like the bullshit like drama.
Oh, that's the best part though.
Yeah, but I'm like trying to not have drama in my life. And it's like
I know, but we don't have drama in our life, so you add a little spice. Just kidding. But it's good. It's a good show. It's a really good show. I know your friends, some of your homies be trying to put you on.
Well, you be watching movies that I want to watch. So, if that's what you want to watch, then I'll watch it. But it's not like my... I don't be liking the love shows for me. Particularly when they're choosing between like two people. Because it's like you're openly dating two people and that just feels like a weird situation, in my opinion. Imagine if I was dating you and someone else. And we're going on dates, they're going on dates.
Yeah, but there's a wall.
I don't know anything about the show. What do you mean?
There's a wall, so they can't see each other. So they literally like just get to know each other through like this wall, and they're like kind of like going on these. So imagine us. You can't see me. That's why it's called Love is Blind. You can't see me, but there's a wall between us, and then we're just talking, getting to know each other.
But how are we on dates then?
You're just... So
it's like talking on the phone, but we're not.
And then the minute you it's them, that's when you guys get to see each other. When you like, will you marry me? And that's when they see each other.
So all of their dates are dates.
Yeah, are like they're in between this wall.
So they're just talking.
Yeah, they're just talking.
For how long?
To know each other. I think like I don't know, like a couple weeks or something.
Besides the point, this clip.
Yeah, the divorce stuff, and I was like, what she said was very like deep. Like I feel like your how you grew up, he was saying that seeing his parents like that, like seeing his mom go through what she went through with his dad affected him. That's why he wants like she was saying that he wants like a long lasting marriage. That's why he rejected AD.
Okay, but I know your question was, when you have kids, should you stay together?
Yeah, so my question was, like, should you stay together, stay for the family, but the sacrifice of you staying together was your peace and you being unhappy?
What do you think?
Because for me personally, I wouldn't stay for the family because I know my kids are gonna see me miserable, crying all the time for the sake of just staying together for the family. Like, I don't want to teach my kids that it's okay to stay with somebody that's consistently hurting you, breaking you, like right in front of the kids. It's not okay to stay like that.
So, I mean, I think in their instance in particular, there was like some cheating going on or something.
Yeah, it's like I know so many women that are going through this right now, that their partners are like cheating on them, like right in front of their face, have no remorse about it. And then you continue to stay with that person that's hurting you, that's like has no remorse. And you're trying to glue the pieces back together, but they're not even willing to. It's like they're just gonna continue like hurting you and hurting you and hurting you, and you want to stay for the sake of staying together and having a whole family, but you're breaking inside.
So I come from that.
Yeah.
I come from that literal like household. Like, my parents got a divorce. They got a divorce probably like 10 years after they should have. I like growing up, I never saw any like affection. They were always fighting, very, very, very toxic, what I witnessed. But out of the 3 kids, like, my brother could care less what they did. My sister thought they should divorce, even though she was as young as she was. I wanted them to stay together. And for me, that was because all of the kids that I saw in elementary school, middle school, all of their parents were divorced. I used to wear it as like a badge of honor. I didn't really even put 2 and 2 together that the relationship was toxic. I was just like, my parents are still married. I got mom and dad. And for me, I wore that as a badge of honor. So I saw them get separated multiple times, where my mom would leave and she would go stay at her mom's house, or, you know, whatever it is. I saw all of those situations happen. Saw multiple like blowout fights where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and I'm a kid and I'm like, yo, like, y'all gotta chill. Like, that type of shit. And
you still wanted them to stay together, seeing them like
I wanted them to fight to fix it. That's what I felt should have happened, because that's how I thought a marriage was supposed to be. I thought you were making that agreement to do that, and to make somebody has to make some changes. But I remember there was never any feeling like they were on the same team. It was always like a mom versus dad type of thing. And when they told me they were getting a divorce, I remember I was mad, but I was like, all right, well, you know, it is what it is at that time. I didn't really get mad about it until my dad told me why they got divorced. And when he told me why they got divorced, that's what made me mad, because I was lied to. I felt like when you are breaking that news to the kid and you're trying to, I guess, I don't know, cater to their feelings, because we were young at the time. When you do that, but then I find out later that it was something different, all of a sudden it turns my mom into a liar. And that really ruined like me and my mom's relationship for a very, very long time. Because obviously, you know, like I said before, I was living with my dad. My dad was very mad and sour about what happened. So there was a lot of bad mouthing like my mom, right? And it's my dad, so I'm not like, you know, don't talk about my mom. It's like, you know, you guys' beef is whatever you guys' beef is. But I remember it was one night in particular, we were driving back from, I think it was like my grandma's or something. And they got into it. And the whole ride home, he was telling me, I remember he asked me, you know, why did she tell you that we got divorced? And I was like, it was something about, funny enough, like the house wasn't clean, and she couldn't clean the house in the way she wanted, and she couldn't, like, it wasn't, I guess, like the lifestyle that she wanted, and things just weren't working in that way. And so then he laughed, and then he told me why they got divorced. And, you know, there was some, what do you call it, infidelity going on. Mm-hmm. But they were both at fault. Like, it was a welcomed experience, and then it turned into something totally different. Mm-hmm. And my mom kind of, you know, went her own way with it. But when I found that out, the only thing I was hearing was, she fucking lied to me.
Yeah.
About why this happened.
How old are you?
I was probably 12, maybe 13. Mm-hmm. But me and my mom didn't talk for like a very long time. I got to a point where I like changed.
You didn't even want to hear her out?
No, because that's what I'm saying. Like when I heard it, like I was like riled up to this point where like I was mad with him, and then he dropped it on me like, why it happened.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, fuck that. Like, hell no. Like and I was saying like that's wrong and all this stuff. And then I remember I wrote her this text and I was like you lied to me. And at that point, like I changed her name in my phone from Mom to Darlene. It was just like made all these things, but it really, really damaged our relationship for a very long time. Yeah. All the way up until the point like where we didn't talk for a long time, and then we finally talked, and shit just never was the same. I was very, very, very close with my mom growing up. Mm-hmm. We used to go to the beach together all the time. We used to, just go on drives and listen to music. We used to just chill a lot where it was just me and my mom. Yeah. And for a long time, like I was more close to my mom than my dad until that point. Yeah. Once that happened, it was like this huge split. But I remember after that, even after we, healed our relationship and came back together, for a very long time, I did not believe in marriage. It felt to me like it was like this, it was a contract, like it wasn't real, because the two people I saw do it failed at it and failed miserably. Yeah. And for me seeing that as a kid, it was like, if this is what marriage is, why am I going to lock myself into this thing where divorce is more likely than not? I know. There's a lot of fighting. People change over time. Like it didn't make sense to me. Yeah. You told me that. Yeah. I remember you telling me like, I don't believe in marriage. And I was like. Yeah. For all my past relationships, like I was like, yeah, I don't know, marriage is weird. And that was like all this prenups and all this stuff. And then we met and got to that point, and it changed. It changed for me. Because when the shit that me and you had been through before we got married proved to me that marriage could work. Yeah. Because we went through the finance bullshit. We went through changes of jobs. We went through long distance relationships. We went through building all of this trust. We lived together. We were in alignment with what we wanted to do. We wanted to go on vacations and do those things. You got on me about the house chores and all those things, and I was willing to change those things for you. I think sometimes people get into that marriage where the two people aren't willing to change for each other, and that's what creates that clash. Yeah. There has to be, you're going to change as you go through life. Yeah. Period. It just, you have to. Yeah, changing and like growing together. Right. If I was the same person I was when we first met, I'd be a fucking loser. We met when I was 25. I'm not going to be 25 with the same 25-year-old mentality for the rest of my life. Right. So like, I'm going to grow. And if we continue to grow together, then we would stay together through the whole thing. But I didn't see that from my parents. Right. So I was always feeling like I'm going to make sure like we don't go that route. Yeah, mine was the opposite. I grew up, my mom, my Lola on my mom's side, my Lola and Lola on my mom's side, and my Lolo and Lola on my dad's side. It's like everyone was together. It's like end, till death do us part shit. Like all I've seen growing up with the relationship was love. Like I believe in love. Yo, I'm the exact opposite. My grandma got divorced. Yeah. My dad's my dad's dad, his wife died before I think she died when I was like 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. So I never saw him in a relationship. Yeah. He was even remarried because he got divorced before. Yeah. So I didn't have any of those examples. Yeah. For me, like I've told Khalil like before, I believe in love. Like I believe in that. Like I know there's somebody out there for you that's gonna like love you truly till the very end, and I've always wanted that for me. Ever since I was young, I knew I was gonna have a kid. I knew I was gonna be married at 23. 23? Kind of, but I knew I was gonna be married. In my vision when I was younger, I'm gonna have a family at 23. I'm gonna be happy. It was 23, huh? Yeah. I got pregnant when I was 23. We got married, I think 23, 24. I was 23, 24. I don't know. 2019. Yeah. Yeah, that was my vision. Okay, that was my vision for myself. Like I've always believed in love. But what I was like talking about earlier is like if somebody's not treating you right and they're not willing to change,
I know there's people that still work things out after, like, you know, infidelity reasons. I know that's not a deal breaker for them. They end up like working things out and staying together. But if the other person is still hurting you, treating you like absolute shit, that you don't even exist, I feel like you should fucking... Huh?
I view it the other way.
What?
I feel like when people are talking about marriage, it's always a they.
What?
Like, they have to change. They have to do this. They have to do that. When in my mind, it's me. I have to change. I have to find a way to make it work. I feel like if you keep putting the power in that other person, you're going to keep blaming that other person for the mistakes. That other person's going to feel attacked. And now all of a sudden it's this me versus you, and it's the same exact shit that I saw growing up. I feel like why we've worked is because I've forced you to look at yourself and make changes, because I was willing to make those changes too. I don't think I've ever just asked you to change and me stay the same.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the compromise. But I think a lot of people in these relationships don't take that ownership on the things that they fucked up on and that they need to change. And that creates a situation where, like I said, there's that split, but it also creates something where if that person does change and makes those changes, which they're not if you're not making the changes too, but they're growing and you're staying the same. So if you focus on making yourself better, you're going to make that other person better or feel inadequate by default, in my opinion. Does that make sense?
This is why I feel like for the ladies out there, I feel like it's very important to invest in yourself, take care of you. I know in motherhood, you lose yourself in motherhood.
What was that? You said a quote the other day about, I think you sent it to me.
Oh, there was, hold on, let me just fix myself. So there was this post of this girl that I was following, and she was saying like that men will, like, you know, start something with you, create a family with you, and then one day leave you for a younger looking woman. And I'm like, first of all, that man, he never love you, truthfully.
I don't think that's just a man thing, though. I think that's just a people thing. Because dudes will put everything into a chick, too, and she'll leave him for a guy with more money.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's not just men. I guess so. But I feel like that happens when the other person is growing and then is outgrowing the other person.
It's a lack of ambition.
It's like... And that's what, and then what she said on the post was, ladies, you have to invest in you, take care of yourself, like really like put in the work for you, like look good, feel good for yourself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things that happen is that a lot of women lose themselves in motherhood, stop taking care of themselves. And listen, like there's like some men out there, I've experienced this for myself. And this dude was telling me, oh, you don't need to work out. You don't need to put makeup on. He was out here trying to make me look like a bum. My ex.
He said what?
He said, you don't need to work out. You don't need to do all of that. You don't need makeup. Like, I'd rather you look like this. And I'm like...
Oh, that's an insecure dude.
And I was like...
Why do you think he said that?
Because he doesn't want me to do better for myself.
Why?
Because he was out there cheating on me behind my back. And I know now, from everything that I know now, I knew he was insecure. I know insecure men does that. A lot of like...
But why do you think that is, though?
What do you mean?
Why do you think that they do that?
So that you can't find somebody better. So you can stay exactly where you are. Because
they know that they're out of their league. And if you were to go out there and show the world this better version of you, let's say you did go out there and work on yourself.
And that's exactly
and
what
you got
I
yourself
did.
in shape and did all those things. Their fear is that someone else is going to see the value. And now all of a sudden, they're going to take you away from them. So they try and minimize you to the fact where you can be out of shape. You don't need to put makeup on. Don't go out there and wear these clothes, because if a guy sees you like that, they're going to take you from me and I want you to myself.
Yeah, and he was even telling me like, oh, don't wear this. He was very controlling of like, you know, what I'm supposed to wear and what not to wear.
That's hilarious to me.
And ladies, that is a red flag, okay? If your man is trying to control what you wear and then how you look, how you take care of yourself, fucking run. Run, bitch, run. because
for me, it's kind of like, go out and wear those things. Like I know we're good. Like you just teasing the whoever, like they're not going to do anything.
Oh my God. You literally at the gym when we're like filming and stuff, I'm over there like wearing a baggy hoodie.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're like, take that shit off.
Yeah, we don't work this fucking hard for you to be hiding it and hiding yourself. Like we're no.
He's like, show that off. I'm like, you right.
Yeah, like, I don't care how fucking cold you are. Put that.
Show your shoulder muscles off.
Too much effort has gone into it to be hiding yourself.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But dudes like that are weak to me. There's so many guys out there that are like that.
I know so many. And the thing is, they're over here telling you not to do better for yourself, and then they're over there bettering themselves, cheating on you while you're stuck there doing nothing for you. That's why this is literally a message to my ladies. Pour that same love, care back into yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in your skincare. Skincare doesn't even have to be all that expensive either, but literally invest in yourself. Make yourself feel good, look good, feel good. Like I just want.
Yeah, but so that guy knows, like, if he knows he's out there doing dirt and he knows that you have the kids, you are out of shape, you're not taking care of your skin, you're gonna wear these frumpy clothes and do all those things. If he gets caught, he's just increasing his chances that you're gonna stay, because he knows that you feel like shit about yourself.
That you're not gonna leave.
So he views you as like damaged goods, so you're not gonna leave. It's like if you have 3 kids and now you're out there on the street and you're looking for another guy, it's like you're not gonna find anything, so you're just gonna come right back.
I feel like the ladies need to know their worth. They need to know that you are a fucking diamond, okay? That literally, when you like, we see this change with like our women, like when they start pouring back into themselves, they start changing, like the confidence, them looking good, feeling good, them like really feeling themselves and feeling happy. Like it's like a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, that's just confidence when you put work into anything, right? And you see a change, like now all of a sudden you believe I can. And that's like the most dangerous thing to one of those kind of guys.
Yeah, take your power back. Take your power back, ladies. You're a diamond. You're a diamond. Speaking of losing ourselves, we both lost ourselves. Like, yeah, in different ways. So for me, like I lost myself in motherhood. I've already talked about that.
So
but
when you say lost yourself, what do you mean? Like an identity crisis?
Yeah, it's like I just like, from being not a mother to a mother, like me back then being like an influencer, like going out, like having the freedom to do whatever the fuck I want, just going out, not having any responsibilities but myself, to being a mom, not being able to do the things that I was doing back then, and then just being cooped up in the house, and then now having your whole world revolves around this tiny human, and just having that shock. You're like, oh my God, this is my life. And I feel like for a really long time, a lot of moms don't talk about this, is that sometimes you go through this mental shift of like resisting of that this is your life now. And that's where I think the clash happens.
That's the identity crisis.
You're like trying to resist this change, but the thing is, embracing that change is what's gonna set you up for feeling like better. Just accepting like all the changes. But for me, something that I didn't talk about back then was me being this influencer, and then to me now, like having...
Well, what was the shift like from you being an influencer? Because I know during your pregnancy, there was a lot of companies you were working with all the way through pregnancy. But once you actually had Lil, what was that transition like for you between influencer to now being a mom?
Yeah, I used to like work with, when I was like doing influencing stuff, I used to work with like so many brands, and that's like our source of income for a good time. And then once I had Lil, like these brands that I literally like worked so hard with, like that I worked for, that I did so many content for, when I gave birth, they didn't even give a shit about me. They just wanted their post posted. Yep. You remember that? Like, I was literally fresh off of like pregnancy, and like they just expect me to like push out content. Yeah, and it's like, damn, like y'all don't give a shit about me. And that's when I was like, and then that's when they started like lowballing me and asking me to do so many posts, but then paying me pennies. And it was just like, I can't do this. Right. Like, this is like not.
They didn't respect your time. Like,
yeah, they just genuinely didn't care about me.
I feel like in some cases it went like to double the posts.
Yeah, they did. They did like try to double the post with like a fraction of what they were gonna pay me.
Right, and now time is way more precious for you too.
Yeah, because I have a kid. And then the thing is, that like shift between, you know, the influencer stuff and then now like having our own thing. Like back then, I used to just post like outfits. Like I used to like post like outfit pictures, outfit videos. And then like as I was becoming a mom, that shift changed, because when I first became a mom, I didn't like the way I looked. I was like feeling insecure, and I felt like I always had to wear a waist trainer underneath those clothes. You knew that. Like every time I would wear sweatpants and I would wear like a waist trainer underneath, because I was just like not feeling myself. I wasn't happy with myself. And that was like a big like shift.
So taking pictures wasn't as fun anymore?
No, taking pictures, I felt miserable. I felt so insecure, and I had to pretend to be somebody that I wasn't. Like I was pretending to be happy, smiling in these photos, where deep down I felt fucking miserable. And I was like, I didn't want to feel like that. I didn't want to portray myself as that. And it was so hard for me to like be vulnerable and be honest about what I was feeling. But then that's when we decided that I decided that I wanted to take my power back and feel happy again. And that's when we started working on myself. That's when we decided you created this program for me. And like, that's when like Fit Mama was born. And like, I remember taking my journey public. I literally have just started like my fitness journey. Do you remember that during COVID? I was working out at home, and I was like sharing my journey, and there was just so many women that was so interested, because when I started taking my power back, taking care of myself, working on me, I documented it. I documented it all. I expressed like how I was feeling, how my body was changing, my energy levels. And that's when we started to like work on the program and release the program.
I think it was different back then, because at that time it was like, come do this with me.
Yeah.
Like, come join me. Like, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm doing it. Come be with me, right? And that way you didn't feel weird about it.
Yeah.
But after that, once you finally made it to the point where you
like when
you liked your body again, you got the results and you got all these things, I remember you feeling like awkward about it.
Yeah, for the longest time I remember like feeling like I didn't want to be pushy. I didn't want to share that we have this service that we're helping moms. And I just felt like, damn, like, am I being annoying? Am I being too much, posting about like us, you know, helping moms? Like, we have this program that we're doing. I felt like I didn't want to post that much.
What did you think was going to happen if you did?
Like, even the stories. We had so many fucking transformations. We had like hundreds of transformations coming in during that time. And I barely shared them, because I was like, I don't want to be like annoying my followers that we're doing this. But then I was thinking like, the one day it clicked to me. I'm like, damn, I used to fucking promote Fashion Nova every single day, no shame, stories, shop this, shop that. And then like posting every day, like wearing these outfits, and me not caring about it. But what we're doing now, like...
You didn't view that as sales, though.
No.
You didn't view that as marketing back then.
But it was.
And it was, but you were inexperienced back then. So you were just like, I'm going to take cute pictures of my outfits and they're going to pay me for it. But Fashion Nova, as a fact, knew like, okay, well, if she posts pictures in our stuff, people are going to buy our stuff. So that was like their marketing tactic.
Yeah.
But you weren't aware that you were a part
like
of that.
The clothes.
So it was shameless for you to do that.
Yeah.
But now once you knew that there was money attached to it, you were like, I don't want to be salesy, even though like an outfit's not going to change somebody's life, right?
Yeah.
But coaching and changing somebody's body and mindset, like that will change someone's life. And then
that's when it clicked to me. I was like, it's a disservice for me not to share my story, not to share other women's experiences, because this literally, what we're doing, changed so many people's lives.
Facts.
And it literally, like, it's just like a game changer. And the thing is, I'm like, why would I be ashamed of this? Why would I be ashamed to share this? Because it's like changing people's lives. And I was literally sitting there like thinking to myself, like, why am I ashamed of it? There's nothing to be ashamed of. Like this is our business. And the thing is, this is so much more rewarding, fulfilling doing this than posting an outfit picture, which I do love still. I love me a good outfit. Like I am like.
But all the women that have worked with us are grateful that you did post those things, because without you doing that, they would have never known. Even though they were looking for it, they would have never got the help that they were looking for.
Yeah.
Or they would have fallen for another piece of bullshit or one of the other gimmicks that are out there. So that's why I feel so passionate about making sure that we get the information out, is because you never know. Whether it's crickets and nobody responds, or there's hundreds of people that reach out, just like the scholarship we're doing right now. It's like when people need help and you have the help they're looking for, it's your responsibility to provide that help.
Yeah, like right? If it's not for you, like it's not for you, but for those women that needed our help and they come across our page, like just to let them know that we're right here, like that we exist, instead of me hiding what we do.
Yeah, and I know we made a big shift in our content even over the last like year to 18 months. Because I know some of the other coaching programs we were in the past was like, you know, you don't want to put too much information out there because they're not going to need you. They don't need you as a coach. It's like, well, we know our value as a coach.
Yeah.
And if we can help you through just our content, then
that's a fucking win.
Perfect. Love the fact that we could still help you with just our content. But for those that need coaching, which a lot of people do, we have coaching available, right?
Yeah.
But with our marketing and I won't even call it that, with our content, it's very much, we're giving you the exact things that we would do with you if you were a client. We're giving you the exact things that can help you if you have this problem, whatever the problem is for the video.
We're literally giving it all, not holding back.
Yeah, we're not gatekeeping the information.
No gatekeeping over here.
Because the mission is to help as many as possible, and we want to be able to help over 1 million moms achieve these results. And we know that we're not going to be able to personally coach 1 million moms. We would, at this rate, it would take us until like,
how old would I be?
2,100 and something to be able to do that. But we're not going to be able to do that in that way. But we got other things coming where we can make that happen. But our content reaches millions, right? And that, even if it's a little bite-sized piece of advice, can help somebody get started and lead them to where they want to go.
And like the thing is, like our goal is to just help educate these women, because there's so many bullshit information out there, and they're getting really fucking good at telling the bullshit stories.
That's the biggest piece for me is because they're getting so good at it. It's just like, to the average person, it makes sense why whatever they said would work. But then they end up super frustrated and disappointed when they find out that it was just another piece of bullshit. And then it only takes so many times for someone to just get worn out and just say,
I give up. This journey is not for me.
I just accept being in this body. And that's why we are where we are now. Over 85% of this country is out of shape. And a lot of those people, there's people that are actively trying, but there's a lot of people who are just like, this is what I am now.
Yeah, I feel like fitness is for everybody. I think you talked about that in our previous video.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's got to be, right? Lil's even doing it. He's 4. Mm-hmm. So it's literally a place for everybody, but it just needs to be boiled down to what will work for you. A lot of these things do work when the time is right for it to be used as a tool, but not as like an end-all be-all type of situation. But I wanted to go back to the identity crisis because I know that I went through one, or many myself, and I think a lot of athletes go through this. I know, Kenny went through the same thing. A lot of my former teammates I see go through the same thing, which is this shift of like, who are you when you're done playing? And for me, that identity crisis and fatherhood and becoming an entrepreneur, like all happened at the same time. Because, when I was playing that last season in the AAF, like it was feeling like I was getting momentum all the way up until the point when they shut it down.
Yeah.
And that like took me by surprise, and it was just like, oh shit, this is over. And I knew at that point, like I was already 29, so it's like I'm too old to go to the NFL. Like, do I want to keep doing this, whole thing? And then we found out that same exact day when the league was done that you were pregnant.
Yeah.
So it was like, every time I commit to going to one of these seasons, I know I'm going to be gone for 6 months. And with the baby, you can't be flying back and forth. And I didn't want to miss that time with you and with Lil and just leave you by yourself. And the money just wasn't worth it. Like, I'm not about to be out here for, $50,000 and half of that's going to go to me living in whatever spot that is.
Yeah.
To just be there. A lot of people think like playing professional football is the end all be all. And if you're in the NFL, it's great. If you're a top tier guy in the CFL, great. You can make 6 figures. But these bottom tier guys or journeymen or guys that are on practice roster, they're not making a lot of money.
No.
And a lot of people take for granted, like when I was up in Canada, the exchange rate is going to kick your ass when you come home.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was living up there for damn near 7 months. I had to spend part of that money for rent and for food. Mm-hmm. By the end of the season, like there's not much left.
No,
and then I got to survive on that all the way until the next season. And as soon as you come down here, you lose like 30% again and taxes.
Yeah.
It's like it's not the glamorous life that a lot of people, think it is. But the identity crisis that happened was, after Lil was born, it was like, I talk about all the time, like the pregnancy wasn't really real to me until you actually gave birth and I laid eyes on him and I was like, damn, like that's my son. Like I'm a dad now. And just like you said, like the priorities are different. Now you have this little human to look after. And for me, it was like this rush of like, what the fuck are you going to do? Because I got that opportunity to play again when I think he was like a month or 2 old. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do the back and forth. So at that moment, I decided I retired, but I was still stuck with this, like, well, who are you?
I know, because for the longest time, you didn't have this plan B. It was always like football was the one.
Right. And I was coming to grips with that, like, at the back half of my career, because for me, like, the CFL wasn't my end all be all. I always wanted to go to the NFL. And when that part of the dream went away, I was noticing, like, I was starting to lose more and more love for the game. And that's when the dream like started dying. I would say like in 2018, the dream just like slowly started dying. And then I had to come to grips with the fact that like, football's not forever. Mm-hmm. But all the way from the time I was 4 till that moment, football was me. Like that was my identity. Like, so having it taken away, even like on the day to day, like all the times I worked out, I was always working out with the mindset of, okay, I'm getting ready for the next season. Or if I was in season, I'm going to make sure that I'm ready and staying strong throughout the game. And then by the time we got to the off season, it was like, all right, I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to go right back to working out. Mm-hmm. But once that was gone, it was like, well, what's my goal for working out now? Like I'm not getting ready for a season. I'm not going to be putting all this weight on my back and doing all these, sprints and all that stuff anymore. So what's the purpose of all this stuff? And then I know I got wrapped up in playing golf during that time a lot.
Oh my God. It was like golf is life.
Yeah, but for me, it was an outlet for like competitiveness or something for me to work on.
You always wanted to tick.
I was looking for something I can like pour myself into. And I remember at that time too, like for money, I was taking on clients at the house.
Yeah, you had a lot of clients.
At a point, I had like
in-person clients.
Yeah, I had like 14, 15 in-person clients just on my own.
I know, you had to like turn them down.
Yeah.
Because when we started focusing on what we're doing now.
But I mean, another thing that people don't realize is like, as a personal trainer, you talk about 15 clients. I was working with pretty much all of them 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So that's 45 hours of work right there. Mm-hmm. So an hour for each client. A lot of times a little more than that just because we're like shooting the shit. But you're talking about like 45 to 50 hours that I went from playing football to now being like this full-time trainer. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, let me go join a gym and see, what that's like, so I can learn the business piece of it. And we went and did that, and then COVID happened.
I know.
The gym I was working at got shut down, and then that's when that identity crisis happened again, and it was instant.
Yeah.
Because even when I was with them, like, we always had the plan that we were going to build this, because we started your journey already.
Yeah, we started my journey, and we already built this Fit Mama program on Word documents.
Yeah, but when I was let go from that gym, it was like, well, I know we're not ready.
I feel like life has a way of getting you on the right path. And it was that push that we need.
It was like, I don't even think it was a push. That was a kick in the ass.
I know. It was like, release this shit now, because you don't know what you're missing out. That's why I feel like, if people are like wanting to start their own thing, like wanting to start their business, like they should just go for it.
I know we've talked to a lot of people that struggle with like that perfectionist syndrome of like, like I want to put something else, or I want to do this and that, but it's got to be, they have
I gotta have like this many videos. I gotta have like the perfect setup, and then I'm like, we started from.
But the thing is, like, even if you did all of that and made it your quote unquote perfect thing, you can put it out and it'll fucking bomb. And then what? Like, that was your perfect.
Yeah. And
like, we viewed this as like, let's just put out what we got, and they're gonna tell us what.
We started with a Word document, and then
an ebook,
a shitty ass website.
We had multiple ebooks that were like 2 people bought them. We're like, well, that's not the one. People don't like this. But yeah, I mean, that through this entrepreneurship thing, like, that was another identity crisis, because I know we talked about it before. It was like, when I was playing ball, even before like I made it on a team, there was this group of guys that I always train with, and most guys have this. It's like, you have 5, 10, 15 guys that you work out with consistently, and you guys are all doing, like, you're getting a tryout here, you're getting a tryout there, you got your family, like, all these people are rooting for you to make it. And you go out and you do the thing, and they're like, hey, how'd it go? Like, did you hear back from them? They're always checking on you and cheering for you. And then when you do make it and you're up there playing, like, those people are back home celebrating you. They're posting you on social media. You got the whole entire stadium that is there literally cheering during the game, or booing, whichever way, but they're supporting what it is you're doing.
Yeah, you was popular back in my city. You was real good though. You was real.
And it was fun.
Good.
That shit was fun. It was like being a gladiator. Like, you make a big play and you turn, you're like, and everybody's like, ah. You see your jersey in the stands, like, all that shit was like,
you was a favorite.
It was real. But then you go into entrepreneurship, putting in just as much work, if not more. And it's crickets.
Oh my God. Even like your closest friends, like they won't even like share your shit. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
They don't,
Not even your family. Like, no pat on the back. Like, in this journey, you gotta be your own fucking fan.
Right. I mean, and there's like, you make even if you make like a good play, right? Like a good decision, and everything worked out, you got to make the impact you were looking to make, there's still no one there that's going to be like,
hey, at least we got each other.
You did it, right? We got each other. But I thought that's interesting, because a lot of people on social media, especially like these business gurus and stuff, they make it so lavish, like the PJs and the Lambos and all this stuff, and you just assume there's this big crowd of people behind the camera that's like cheering that guy on as he walks up, but there's no one. Even that guy, there's not really a lot of people that are like cheering you on to do this stuff.
It's like you and your family
and your company, right? Your employees that are like, that becomes like your little inner circle. So I think, even through that process, we've hired and fired a lot up to this point, because we're still looking for
those people that will believe in our mission,
that are going to be here to the end.
Like, our mission is just so big, and I know it's not for everybody.
But I mean, we're going to keep going till we do find them.
So I want to update you guys on my journey. So I want to show you guys my transformation from October to now. So during my prep and prime phase, my cut phase, this is my transformation. It's insane. This is like October to beginning of March. Crazy, right? Look at that. Your girl got abs.
You beatboxing?
What?
What was that?
I don't know.
What were those sounds?
Can you just let me be great?
All right, go ahead.
Lick fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I know you're seeing that transformation and you're like, wow, this is great. But then I was telling him, I feel like I just have this like way of like picking on myself and like comparing myself and just, I don't know, I just feel like I like to like beat myself up. And that's when like it gets kind of like tough because I was telling myself, I look the same as I was before the ectopic pregnancy happened. Before the ectopic pregnancy happened, I feel like my body now looks the same as before. And I was like beating myself up because I felt like I didn't make this progress, but I made this big progress. But in my head, I'm like, I didn't make that much progress. Literally looks the same as before.
Why do you think that?
Because I look the same, pretty much the same as I was before the ectopic pregnancy. But then the thing is, when the ectopic pregnancy happened, I was down for months.
But why would you look any different than that?
I don't know. That's why I was like, that makes sense. Like why am I comparing myself to that?
Well, I mean, think about most of the women that are trying to take on this journey, especially after having kids. They're literally fighting for their life to get back to what they look like before pregnancy.
Yeah.
And you're unhappy that
that's
you
why I
got back to what you look like before surgery.
That's why I had to check myself because that's the mentality that us women battle.
It's never good enough.
Yeah, it's like never good enough. And that's why I really had to check myself. I'm like, yo, you gotta fucking stop talking down on yourself like this. This is amazing progress. You have never had abs looking like that in your life, even before pregnancy.
I don't think you look like before
I got
the
muscle
ectopic.
now.
You made a lot of progress on your upper body and on your core.
Yeah, let me show you my back. Okay, my back. That's something I'm really, really proud of.
But even through the journey, like you were with your strength, you were like, well, I'm not as strong. And it's like a lot of people give up at that point when they are like, this isn't worth it. I just look like this. But you really made a lot of progress up to this point. Even clients that we're working with now, I know some of them are like, I'm not really making much progress. They get like bent out of shape about it. And then you take their starting picture to where they are now and you send it to them. And they're like, whoa.
Yeah, oh my God. This client, I'm working with this client, Caitlin. I'm so freaking proud of this client because at first she was like, I don't see, I didn't think I was making that much progress. But then when you put those two together, she said, I was shook, Jasmine. I was shook because there was a big difference. And listen, it hasn't even been a month. And this client had a starve and binge mentality, had a really terrible, terrible relationship with food where she would starve herself during the week. She's doing good. And then during the weekend, she would binge. And then now after being with us for almost a month, she has a much better relationship with food. She hasn't done the starve and binge cycle, which is a big win. She's getting stronger in the gym. Her body is going through this process, body recomposition, and she is feeling amazing. She said her a couple months ago is a much different version now where she's at. She's much more happier. She's sleeping better. Energy is through the roof. And a couple months ago, she was only getting 1,000 to 2,000 steps. Now she's getting 7 to 14,000 steps.
That's a big gap.
No, she would have a 7,000, and then most it was 10,000, 4,000. Yeah.
Got it.
But she's crushing it. And I was like, and this is just the beginning. And she's really happy that she's not focused on the scale because we removed the scale.
Well, the scale, and let's say you didn't even send her the progress picture. There has to be a point in your journey when you can view all of those other things that you said as the win.
As a win.
As progress. All of those things are signs of progress. But everyone is so attached to the scale and the mirror. And it's there's so many other metrics that will tell you that you're heading in the right direction. I know we've had clients too, not even like her, but some that thought that the weight loss was going to happen faster because they had come from programs when, they lost 30 pounds in a month. And it's with us and our philosophy is we don't need you to get there fast. We want you to be able to get there permanently. And for her, she's lost 24 pounds over the last 6 months. And it's okay, so 6 months is 24 weeks. So you've lost an average of 1 pound a week. So if we continued on this trajectory, by the end of the year, you have lost 52 pounds for an entire year.
Yes.
Which is a big thing because a lot of people don't even think about that. A lot of people be like, okay, you lost 52 pounds, but they want to see it like crash down 52 pounds. Let's say it took you 2 months to lose 52 pounds. In a year, you still have 10 months left. If you can't sustain that 52 pound weight loss for the rest of that 10 months, it's a fail, right? And most people will come back up on the other side of that and notice that big rebound.
Yeah.
But if we can just focus on losing 1 pound a week, you will have lost and maintained 52 pounds of weight loss for an entire year, which is huge. If you even lost a half a pound per week, you will have lost 26 pounds and maintained it for an entire year.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge thing to realize, and everyone thinks it needs to happen so fast, but it's like, do you want it to happen fast or do you want it to happen permanently?
Yeah.
Because if you can lose 52 pounds and keep it off for the next 5-10 years, it's a better route to just take 1 pound at a time. It's much easier, and it's going to be much more enjoyable for you doing it that way.
Yeah, because this is a mental shift when it comes to the ladies, because like we said, there's so much fucking bullshit out there, and it's like you see all these like videos that lose 30 pounds in 30 days, get abs in 7 days, like all these quick fixes that like gets you like quick results that fast, and now we all think that we have to see results that fast.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, and I think there's a little bit of that, but there's also, I think, some like false assumptions around what a fitness journey looks like, because I know back in the day, like you were 115 pounds, which ain't shit, and you thought you needed to lose weight.
Yeah, I felt like I needed to lose weight at 115 pounds. That's when I was like, oh, I just need to eat less. I just need to eat less and do cardio. And I was 115 pounds. And I'm like, girl, you're 5'3", 115 pounds. Why do you need to lose weight?
Yeah, and that's a lot of people out there will think that they need to lose weight. I know there's a girl that just was in your DMs the other day that was like, I want to lose 25 pounds, and she's 5'6", 145.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you trying to lose weight? Like, there's nothing wrong with your weight. But what happens is when you don't have experience, all you're looking at is the mirror. And if you can't see the definition that you want to see, the assumption is, I need to lose weight. But in reality, what we know as coaches and being experienced in this, oftentimes you're better off actually gaining muscle than losing weight. So if you took two people, right? Let's say one person was 200 pounds and had 20 pounds of body fat. And let's say you took another person that was 100 pounds and had 20 pounds of body fat. The 100-pound person is going to be 20% body fat. The 200-pound person is going to be 10% body fat. Massive difference between these two people and what they actually look like. And that was a big realization that you had. But in our first phase, that's always what we go through is body recomposition. Because if you take this same person that's 100 pounds with 20 pounds of body fat, and they didn't lose a single pound of fat, let's say they just increased muscle. They put on 20 pounds of muscle. Their body fat is going to go down by default because their overall weight has gone up, but the body fat percentage or the amount of body fat they have is going to stay the same. So that person is now going to look leaner. It's going to look more defined.
Yeah, we can put these pictures together. I am 130 pounds over here, and I'm 130 pounds now. Completely different body composition.
And you can even go on Google. If you just type in body fat percentage, like there's one comes up for men, one comes up for women, but it shows you what the body looks like at different body fat percentages. And usually for women, you guys want to be somewhere between 15 and 20% for you to be quote unquote lean, because you guys carry more fat than men do naturally. Men want to be somewhere between, to be athletic is around 12 to 15. And that's where you have like the outline of abs and you're not like diced up, but you look athletic. But everyone just assumes like, if I want to get there, I need to lose this amount of weight. It's like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's an equation of how much how much fat you have on top of your muscles. And it's something that you're even experiencing right now because you put on so much muscle on your upper body. Now all of a sudden you're seeing these veins start to pop out and you're becoming vascular. That's a sign that now you've reduced body fat percentage because now you're seeing those things. You're seeing the definition. So that's a big thing for people to realize. It's like you might not have to lose weight.
You just have to gain muscle.
Right. And that's what you really need to look at.
To really enjoy, like, you know, to be like happy with where you at.
And some people will fuck themselves up too because they're not at a bad weight, but they're trying so hard to lose weight.
I know.
And for the sake of them seeing the scale go down, more likely than not, they're just going to lose more muscle, which is only going to make it so much harder for you to be happy with what you see in the mirror.
Yeah.
And how your clothes fit and making your body actually look different.
Yeah.
But so that's another piece too is calorie deficits. I know we've had questions about, you know, what actually is a calorie deficit. So a calorie deficit, on the simplest of terms, just means that on a daily basis, you are burning more calories than you're eating. That is it. Now that just becomes such a variable based on how much muscle you have, how much activity you're doing, how tall you are. Like all of these things that makes up who you are as a person will determine how much calories you're actually burning versus you just being like, I need to eat 1,200 calories.
Right.
It's like you might not have to eat at 1,200 calories to be in a deficit, but people will take it there because most of these companies have marketed that 1,200 calorie diet. They don't tell you that's 1,200 calories, but when you do the math, that's usually what it adds up to because they can just take the average weight of people, weight of women, and say, let's put that in a severe deficit and that person's going to see weight loss, but they don't tell you that you're going to adapt to that.
Yeah, and it's so fast for you to adapt, like your calories to adapt.
Doesn't take long. Yeah, it's a few weeks at most.
I know.
But I mean, most times it's before you even adapt, people will fall off.
Because it's just not sustainable.
You're going to be facing intense cravings.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I want to eat that. And all of a sudden, all these sweet foods that you might have not even had in the past.
Yeah, that was me. I was on a fucking 1,200, 1,000 calorie diet, and I came here and gained 15 pounds in like a week. Like, how the fuck did that even happen?
Yeah, because you got adjusted to burning that amount of calories, and then
because I was like so consistent with it too. I wasn't fucking up. I was on it, and then just that one little vacation really like set me back because I was so like I was under eating.
Right, but then the real frustration will come in if then you go home and you try and get back on track doing the same things and now you're not seeing any weight loss anymore. You're like,
right, I'm like, what?
Why is it not working for me anymore?
Right.
But that's because you lost so much muscle in the process. But and that's the show. We'll see you guys next time.
That's the show.
See ya.
Peace.